Hello and welcome to Symphonic Band Open House 2020. Obviously, this beginning of the school year is different for all of us. Normally at Open House, I would be talking to you first about how great it's been to see your kids again for the last 3-4 weeks and multiple weeks of marching band, and how the show is going well, and how we were looking forward to the first football game, or maybe even have performed at the first game or two. But of course, this year is very different. I do say it has been really great when school started, even though remotely, to see your children, even though they're in their little Brady Bunch prisons, just to see their face and get to talk with them. And Symphonic Band is great too, because they are even probably one of my more willing to be open and share classes about how things are going with them. And so it's great just to connect to them on a little bit. So welcome, glad you're here, and glad your students are part of the LT Band program. The template they sent us asked us to share a little bit about ourselves, so I'm going to do that. I went to Northern Illinois University, had a bachelor's in saxophone performance and a master's in music education. I also have a master's in school administration, my 22nd year of teaching, and my 17th year here at LT. Personal interests, I have 2 daughters, both are LT alum, and were in band for 4 years while they were here. My youngest, Emma, is at UW-Madison. She's a sophomore now, and she's studying civil and environmental engineering. And my oldest daughter, Marie, just finished law school at U of I. So she is studying for the bar exam and loving it. My wife is a music teacher in Franklin Park. And when I'm not at school, I still really love music, especially jazz music. I listen to all the time. I'm practicing myself on my saxophone, and I'm looking forward to the jazz clubs being open again in Chicago whenever that happens, so we can go out and hear some live music. I'll spend a lot of time working on my house. My kind of COVID quarantine project was redoing our half bath, and so that is almost done. And also cooking and eating, but okay, mostly eating. So, right, enough about me. So what's our goal in Symphonic Band? So our goal is to increase and combine our music knowledge and technical abilities through the study of band masterworks to create beautiful and inspiring performances. And that's exactly what we're going to do. To that end, so what's new in band rehearsal? You know, I got to ask the question all summer, how are you going to teach band remotely? And the answer actually is rehearsal looks very similar to what normally would be. But if you watched your student rehearsing with us, what you would see is one, students will be playing along the whole time, rehearsing with a variety of musical guides. So one is me. So when they're playing their warm-ups or they're playing their scales, I'm actually playing with them. And then we have videos that the private teachers made for us that of certain warm-ups that we utilize in band class, and also students are supposed to be utilizing in their private, in their personal practice. We also use recorded examples of the music we're working on. And we also have some software we use, Smart Music, that allows us to rep certain sections of the band music. So the students are playing along at home and they're hearing a full band sound, even though it's not our band, it's a recording of a band, but it's about as close as we can get to them actually playing with the band while they're at home playing their individual part. There will be slightly more frequent playing tests this semester, and that's really just because it's the only way for me to get to hear the students. One of the limitations of Zoom is I just don't get to hear the kids every day. Usually in band class, I'm hearing them play all day, every day. Every minute I'm getting feedback from them on how they're doing because I can hear it, we don't get that in Zoom. So we'll have slightly more frequent playing exams that way. I can hear them and I can give them feedback that they can use as they practice. What's the same? Really everything else. The main guts of the classes will all be the same. We're still going to focus on our technical skills and ability, working on our scales and articulation and flexibility and range. We're going to focus on our part mastery, which of course is their band music, their individual practice, which we'd be asking them to do anyway. We'd tell the kids, look, just take your instrument out every day, even if it's 20 minutes, right? Just a little bit of practice every day goes a long ways. And all the grading policies, which we'll actually talk about in a moment, that we've had in band in the past are all the same as well. How do you get your grade in band? Well, the same way you have all the other years. 70% of your grade is content mastery. So that's essentially all your playing tests, scale tests, excerpt tests from the music. The other 30% are what we call ensemble skills. Essentially, that is participation. That would be reserved for our marching band rehearsals or performances or concerts, things that take place outside of the school day. Obviously, those are kind of on hold right now. We'll talk about a little bit more of that in a later slide. One thing I do want to highlight is that the retake policy in band remains the same. And that policy is students can retake their playing tests as many times as they would like to until they get the grade they want in band. I always say, really, there's no reason a student shouldn't have an A in band, because they'll play that playing test, I'll listen to them, I'll give them some very specific feedback of what is good, but then also wants to work on. They take that feedback, they apply it to their practice, they get better, and they replay the test, and they get a better grade. The students who take advantage of the retake policy always do very well in class. There's no problem. So I strongly recommend students do that. How do you know what's going on in class? Or students say, what should I practice? If your student ever says to you, I don't have anything to practice, that's not true, by the way. So I just say everything is posted on Canvas, and we're going to take a Canvas tour in a second. Parents will say Infinite Campus is usually the way parents interact with the grading in a class, but it gives you a very, very small part of the story. And so I want to show you our Canvas page. Here's the Symphonic Band Canvas page. So here is our link that we use when we have rehearsal. So at the top of the page, these are all the resources they have. So this is all copies of their music, copies of their reference recordings, variety of things. Here's their warm-up videos that they can use in their practicing, their syllabus, all kinds of things. Everything they need materials-wise is right here, links to it on the Canvas page. And then as we go from week to week, you're going to see two things for each rehearsal day. One, you'll see exactly what we did in rehearsal. And then you'll see exactly what we're asking the students to make sure they do for next class. When they practice, they should just be able to follow this down and work on these things. And then here you'll see, by the time you see this, this will already have happened, but they have a playing test coming up on these first three major scales, and they're going to record a video of themselves playing those major scales for me. And so they have that every day that is like that. And so you can scroll down and see exactly what we did and what is coming up. If you need to go back further, the past weeks will be right below that, all the different things we've done, as well as the practice routine for the next class. So students always have something to do. They always have something to practice. That should never be a question. All right. A few band-specific items. One, yes, practice daily. Just make it part of what you do. Let's be honest. Kids have plenty of time. They're playing video games or watching 14 things on Netflix. Taking your instrument out for 20 minutes is not only way better for their brain, getting them away from a screen, but they have to do it, and it's going to make, they're going to sound better, the band's going to sound better, they're going to have more fun, their grade is going to be better. I mean, everything's going to be good. We have asked the students to make sure that every day for rehearsal they have a metronome, a tuner, and the breathing tube. So for now, I don't mind if they're using apps on their phones for the metronomes and tuners, but those things are really important to help us during class. And the breathing tube is something they received last year at school. If they have lost theirs, it is a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch PVC coupling. You can get them at Depot. They're less than $1, but they have made a huge difference in a positive way for the overall tone of all the bands. And so we do use those in class every day, and they should use them when they're practicing as well. Private lessons. Private lessons continue. I would say if private lessons is an option for you, and you're not already doing lessons, if you are, by the way, taking lessons, keep it going. Even in this remote environment, it's a great option. But if your student isn't taking lessons, and that's a possibility for your family, I highly recommend it. Spending time every week with someone who's an expert on their instrument is so vital. And I've seen kids who weren't taking lessons all of a sudden start and just grow exponentially in their playing. Really, really great. Concerts and marching band. Obviously, you have a calendar already that you received at the end of last year, but those things are kind of on hold for the moment. We are hopeful to have a concert in some format by the end of first semester. We do also have a plan that we have given to administration to have some Wednesday evening marching band rehearsals. Obviously smaller groups and socially distanced, but we're waiting for approval on that. And of course, all those things are just going to depend on health and safety issues in the state and the county. Concert dress. Normally, concert dress for symphonic band is the same, for gentlemen is the same it was last year in concert band, which is white dress shirt, black bow tie, black dress pants, etc. And ladies just wear all black. I'm not going to worry so much about concert dress right now because at this point I'd be happy to have a concert in t-shirts and blue jeans just to be able to get together and play some music. So we will jump off that bridge when the time comes. Lastly, if you or your student ever has any questions or needs some help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me over email. It's really the best way to contact me. And if students ever have any questions or need help on a part or a scale or whatever, what we've asked them to do is just email me and make an appointment. I have plenty of time available for individual student help. And I think it'll be easier to make appointments that way. I can dedicate that, 30 minutes to helping Sally with her clarinet part, whatever they need, instead of trying to have multiple instruments in a Zoom room and navigating that. That way I can really give them individual attention. And I'm happy to do that at any time. So if a student ever has questions or they're struggling with something, please encourage them to reach out and make an appointment. Half the time, 5 minutes and a little bit of individual time makes all the difference. So, and I'm happy to do that. Right. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your open house. And I hope to someday soon here at school get to see your students in person and get to see you in person at a concert. I hope you and your family are all safe and well. Take care.